In this next module, I'm going to talk about the statistics that are used to describe where's the center of your data. So the main measures that we use for central tendency, that is where's the center of your data, are the mean and the median. Probably most of you are very familiar with the mean. So a mean is just an average, and you've probably all calculated averages throughout your life, so this is not something that's very hard, but I want you to think a little bit about the mean in a different way. I want you to also think about the mean as a balancing point. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I also want to show you the mathematical shorthand, the mathematical symbols that we use to represent the calculation of a mean. I'll be using some of these symbols in this class, so it's helpful for you to be comfortable with these. So how do we calculate a mean? It's very easy. We add up all of the values and we divide by the sample size. Again, probably many of you have calculated many of these in your life. But how does that look in math shorthand? So in math shorthand, the way that I'm going to represent a mean is I'm going to write x bar. And that's important to remember because I'll be using the x bar a lot just to save myself the time of having to write out the word mean. So it's a little bit of math shorthand that I will be using in this class. So x bar represents the sample mean. When I take some data and I calculate an average or a mean, that I will represent as an x bar. The way we calculate x bar, the mean, is to add up all of the observations and divide by n, and that's represented by these symbols here. So here's my summation sign. So what this summation sign is saying is add up all of the observations from 1 to n, because again I have n observations in my sample. I'm representing each observation as xi, so that x1 would be the first observation, x2 is the second, etc. And this just says add up all of those observations. And then we divide by n the total number of observations, and this is a longer, over here is a longer way to write that. If these symbols are a little unfamiliar to you, like if you haven't seen a summation sign before, you should take the math tutorial that's offered before you take the rest of this course, because I will be throwing up some summation signs every now and then. So let me just give a quick example of how to calculate a mean. This should be easy for all of you. So for example, let's say I had some hypothetical data here. I have some data on 8 participants in a study, and I have their ages. So it ranged from 17 to 38. If I wanted to figure out their average age, I would just add up those 8 values and divide by 8.